So now that we have seen the difference between the weight of an object and what happens to that weight when the force of gravity on it changes, we need to get some basic vocabulary down here. So in your note packet, you have a table that looks like this that you're going to fill in with information. So let's just first start with gravity. So a simple definition of gravity is a force that pulls objects towards each other. So that means it's an attractive force, right? Things are attracted to one another by gravity. Mass can be defined as the amount of matter in an object. So the molecules all have a mass to them, and you add up all those molecules with their itty bitty masses, and you end up with the mass of the object in its entirety. Whereas weight is a measure of the force of gravity on an object. So mass and weight here on Earth, we tend to use those words interchangeably because the force of gravity on Earth doesn't really change from one place to another. So it doesn't actually matter if we say the word mass or weight as long as we're on Earth. But of course, we want to learn how to be specific in our language. So we need to understand that there actually is a difference. And mass has units of, let's write grams. So traditionally in science, we would use units like grams or kilograms. But of course, you could also use pounds, depending on what scheme you're using. Whereas weight, you can see that weight is actually a force. So technically, the unit for weight is newtons. And we already know about newtons and the fact that they are a unit of force. So like I said, we get lazy and we tend to use the units that are actually for mass when we're talking about weight here on Earth. If you talk about how much something weighs, often you would say it weighs this many pounds or this many grams. But now we realize that that's actually imprecise language. So take a minute, pause the video, and get this info into your packet.